on water and cities. With an objective to gain a nuanced understanding of forging partnership with media.
Ladies and gentlemen, a very good morning to all of you. On behalf of FCM and USAID, I extend a very warm welcome to all of you. The agenda says that I need to welcome all of you and also state the purpose of the conclave. But you've just seen a very short film which captured the purpose of the conclave. So I take this opportunity to share with you what actually made us look for this partnership. I would basically attribute 4 emotions to driving this partnership. The emotions are apprehension, excitement, inspiration, and commitment. Now let me just share with you all these emotions in a very, very simple way. We were driven initially by apprehension when we got together to work for the water. If you take a look at India, India never had a big bang approach to reform. Take a look at telecom reform. It took almost 2 decades, 20 long years. You take a look at power sector reforms, 10 years down, a long 1 decade, and we are still struggling. We had the apprehension that is water sector reforms also is going to be condemned to the same fate, or even a worse fate, considering the nature of water. Water has an emotional appeal, and people really react differently to water. Now, apart from these apprehensions, we also started worrying whether water sector does have only failure stories to talk about. And we also had one big worry, that is, are we going to win these small little battles, but are we going to really lose the war? After having looked at this sector very closely and having gotten a grip on the sector and the way it works, now we have a lot of excitement. Excitement to demonstrate that most of the time people's thinking is hijacked by misconceptions and myths. Dr. Chari will give a presentation today in which he is going to demonstrate very clearly that most of the Indian cities do have water to go in for continuous water supply. Ms. Anjali Rai is going to give a presentation where she is going to demonstrate that the poor actually are being penalized today, and we don't understand the kind of economic costs that they're paying, the psychological costs, and there are a lot of other costs that are hidden to the naked eye. Mr. Ashish Kundra is going to give a presentation, and here he is going to demonstrate that when utilities seek partnerships, they do it not to victimize the poor by increasing the prices, but they do it primarily because the utilities do not have competencies, be it technical competencies or managerial competencies, to move towards continuous water supply. And in my presentation, and also Mr. Vivian Fernandez from CNBC, we're going to demonstrate that media has not always taken the government or the reforming agencies to the gallows. It has glorified when the government tried to improve and show reforms. It has also garlanded the several initiatives. The other emotion right now I'm feeling is that of inspiration. In this very room we are sitting, we have representatives from the political heads who actually have started believing that decisions cannot be taken behind closed doors, and all the stakeholders have to be involved in the game. In this very room, we have representatives of civil society organizations who believe that governance is not possible if government is challenged at every step. And these are the same people who believe that positive pressure has to be given to reforming agencies. In this very room, we have representatives of water utilities who are here to share with us the pains and the pleasures of moving towards better service delivery. The final and the last emotion is conviction. Though in India, constitutionally, water is a state subject, each city had its own reform agenda, which was defined based on the geopolitical context. But we don't see a reason why Hyderabad cannot learn from Delhi and Nagpur cannot learn from Hyderabad. Cross-learning is possible. We are also convinced that all the actors in this reform game, if they understand their role and play very well, every segment of society is going to gain, especially the common man and the poor. In conclusion, I'd like to say that if any one of you have read the book, The Blue Gold, the pessimism and the cynicism that were reflected in the predictions of that author of that particular book, we can categorically say, by forging beautiful partnerships with media and various other stakeholders, we can make sure that the predictions just stay as predictions.